With Yuji fighting Sukuna in this final arc, I believe he's risen to be one of, if not the best hand-to-hand fighter in the series. Today though, I'm going to be comparing Yuji against another protagonist being Naruto. We're going to be comparing each of their martial arts and adaptive skill, but I won't be doing this alone today, which I got a special guest who is none other than Sage of Thick Calves. Sage of Thick Calves, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for having me on the channel. It's exciting. I saw your the strongest video, and I was like, I got to do a collab with this guy. So glad to be on the channel, and I'm really excited to dig into this topic. But before I go over Naruto, do you want to go over Yuji real quick?
Yeah, for sure. I'll go ahead and start. Now for Yuji, I want to start with his earlier feats during the series as I believe it is massively undermined. Yuji on his own is most definitely more athletic than most, being able to run a 50-meter dash in 3 seconds and can legit just throw a car with his own strength. And for his fighting style, as we all know, it's more focused on up-close combat. There's not a confirmed fighting style that Yuji utilizes, but it seems to be based off a martial art known as Taido. Basically, Taido is a fighting style where you maintain your center of gravity while holding on to his opponent so he can stay on the opponent's face at all times. We've seen these in all of his fights like Todo, Hanami, Mahito, and Sukuna. Although he mainly uses straightforward strikes, he does show to have full control of his body, like being able to grapple Choso's neck and just throw him while still being in the air, and being able to unlock parts of his body such as his knees, hips, and shoulders to land his Manji kick, which is a Taido martial art. But by far his best combative skill will be his adaptability. After just joining Jujutsu High, he was able to match Todo in hand-to-hand, who was a grade 1 sorcerer, then was able to learn Black Flash faster than any sorcerer who was in grade 1. The only people who are as skilled as Yuji at landing Black Flashes are legit Gojo and Sukuna, which is crazy to think about for Yuji. Additionally, for his adaptive skill, we've seen Yuji constantly adapt on the fly against people like Mahito who can transfigure their body to any shape or weapon, and people like Choso and Hanami who can control elements such as earth and blood. Yuji is usually able to adapt in these conditions within the first move or the first few moves of the fight, especially when considering the environment. Now the final point I will talk about would be his endurance. In most of Yuji's fights, he pretty much disregards any pain or damage his body is taking, like losing limbs, being pierced in vital areas, and being slashed all over his body, and would still be able to continue on fighting afterwards. His endurance along with his up-close fighting style makes it extremely hard to deal with in a combative sense. Now let's compare him to Naruto. Sage of Thick Calves, would you like to take it from here?
Absolutely. Naruto's taijutsu skills are actually a fundamental aspect of his character, evolving significantly over the course of both the Naruto and Boruto franchises, and showing not only his skill as a shinobi increasing, but also establishing some central aspects of who he is. His journey from a novice ninja to one of the most powerful shinobi in the world showcases not only his growth in strength and skill, but also his adaptability and creativity in combat. But just how sharp is Naruto when it comes to pure hands throughout the series? In the early parts of Naruto, our MC is portrayed as an inexperienced and often clumsy fighter. His taijutsu skills can be characterized by basic strikes and kicks, unpredictability, and the use of shadow clones. Obviously, we won't be considering shadow clones here as it's hands only, meaning that Naruto's basic taijutsu skill paired with his unpredictable and unorthodox fighting style will be his greatest aids in taijutsu early on. It is worth noting that the first fanbook details the grades of each academy graduate from Naruto's class, including taijutsu, ninjutsu, and genjutsu prowess. Naruto, interestingly, got a B in taijutsu, which is only behind Sasuke, Kiba, and Hinata, all of whom are either taijutsu specialists or considered a prodigy in that class. It is fair to point out though that Shino and Ino both got Bs as well, but it's impressive that the #1 knucklehead ninja was able to perform well in comparison to his peers in that regard. As the series progresses, particularly during Shippuden, Naruto undergoes significant training and growth, leading to marked improvements in his taijutsu skill. In particular, Naruto masters Sage Mode. The introduction of Sage Mode not only enhances his physical abilities, granting him heightened reflexes, strength, and sensory perception, the training to acquire and master this mode also allows for him to execute more powerful and precise strikes. Utilizing Frog Kata, a fighting style that mimics the combination of boxing, aikido, and taekwondo, Naruto is able to essentially neg physically resilient opponents with his strikes, bypassing conventional durability by extending his attack range via the usage of nature energy. However, again, it is hands only, so nature energy isn't allowed. However, the training that Naruto underwent during this time certainly sharpened his skills as a striker, even if we don't include the durability negating techniques. In the Fourth War, Naruto's striking skill doesn't really improve a ton, but what we do get to see is him showcase his uniquely strategic fighting style. From early on in the series, Naruto displayed an understanding of basic and even advanced battle strategies, but we really get to see that come to fruition during the Fourth War and the Final Valley. Throughout the war, Naruto demonstrates a greater understanding of tactics and strategy, utilizing both ninjutsu and taijutsu to match and even best the likes of Jubi Madara. An example of this is when his clones were able to match the taijutsu prowess of Madara's Limbo clones, with Madara being a skillful taijutsu master himself, as we got to see when he mowed down the 4th Division, and his Limbo clones being stated to be exact copies of his main body. Naruto's shadow clones being able to scrap with them is incredibly impressive. We also get to see this furthered in the fight with Sasuke, as he demonstrates his abilities to read opponents, exploit weaknesses, and utilize the environment to his advantage, further showcasing a more mature and intelligent approach to taijutsu. Obviously, by the end of the fight, Naruto and Sasuke are exhausted, but Naruto consistently throughout the fight shows the ability to keep up with and even outperform a skilled taijutsu fighter in Sasuke, despite Sasuke wielding the perception-amping Sharingan. In the end, Naruto also utilizes something as simple as a reflection off of a headband paired with impeccable timing to outspeed Sasuke's Chidori and land an iconic vicious uppercut to his rival that knocks him back into a, stone face. So obviously Naruto's tactics and his ability to utilize his surroundings have improved greatly, and then also paired with an increase in his taijutsu skill lead to him being a really capable taijutsu fighter in the Naruto series. However, the Boruto series is where Naruto's taijutsu is easily at its most impressive. We learn that this Boruto era version of Naruto has mastered the Gentle Fist, which is an absolute nail in the coffin for Yuji here in my opinion. This is showcased extremely well in Naruto's fight with Momoshiki. During that battle, we get one of the most iconic hand-to-hand sequences in all of anime, with Naruto trading blows with and beating the 1,000-year-old godlike being using a mix of Wing Chun, boxing, and Taekwondo styles to land precise, vicious, and effective blows on an Otsutsuki who has dozens of generations of combat knowledge. I mean, keep this in mind, we get told that Boruto having Momoshiki's memories via karma gives him access to the memories of all of the Otsutsuki that come before in that same line, the ones Momo had eaten in the same way that he ate Kinshiki. We know that this is several Otsutsuki since we get to see that on just one planet in Momoshiki's parallel universe, he has several god trees, all of which would have been a product of Momo sacrificing an Otsutsuki partner to the Ten Tails. So, Naruto, with taijutsu alone, was absolutely dog-walking an alien god who has access to potentially thousands of years of combat experience. Serving those hot hands on a cold plate, Naruto by this time demonstrated that when it comes to pure hands, he's one of the best in all of anime.
Now that Naruto and Yuji were analyzed, it should come to no one's surprise that Naruto possesses the better hands along with experience and technique advantage. Maybe, and it's extremely generous to say, Yuji and Naruto could swap hands briefly, but all in all, Naruto wins this by a fucking landslide. Yeah, I was glad to have you alongside for this video.
Yeah man, it's been a pleasure being on your channel. I look forward to having you on mine. If you guys haven't subscribed to Remy yet, make sure that you guys do. And then come over and check out my channel as well if you guys like Naruto content. But yeah man, I appreciate it, and I look forward to doing many more here.